Hello and welcome to round 11 of the 2019 Formula Virtual World Championship here from Hockenheim in Germany. My name is Downton and I'm joined today by Lilly, Westwood.
Wagwan.
And in the pit lane, Robert Mathershaw.
Guten Abend.
Today then the drivers will be tackling 67 laps of this Hockenheimring circuit. Adrian Simon was the winner here last year. Elroy Wagner holds the fastest lap, a record that was set back in 2016 when he was driving for Franklin. Let's see how they go today then. It's an all Downton front row lockout. For the fourth time this season, Nathaniel Powers takes his third pole position with Klaas van Snelheid alongside. They start on the medium and soft tyres respectively. Lining up on the second row, Timo Kinnaman in the lead of the Franklins, he's on the mediums, and Lewis Ellington, a stunning qualifying in the Meteor, he starts from fourth, also on the medium tyres. Fifth is Enrique Ruiz, out-qualified by his teammate for only the second or third, I'm not quite sure, time this season. He's on the mediums. Sebastian Bergqvist starts from sixth on the hard tyres in the lead of the Holmqvists. He's got his teammate Felix Bayer right behind in seventh. Bayer goes from the softs, and Felix Perez lines up alongside in eighth. He is on the softs as well, rounding out the top 10. In ninth, we've got Alard Kanga, the first of the DS Mathershaws in what was a dismal qualifying for the French outfit. He's on the softs as well. Thierry Zylander completing the top 10, the Belgian on the medium tyres. 11th is Jean Matson on the mediums as well. He heads his teammate, who completes row 6. James Vasquez goes on the hard tyres. Row 7 and in 13th place, we've got the second DS Phoenix of Sergio Alvarez. The Argentine is on the medium tyres, as is the German Elroy Wagner alongside him in the first of the Lopez cars. Row 8 and in 15th position, we have the second DS Mathershaw of Adrian Simon. He's on the soft tyres, caught out yesterday in qualifying, very unfortunate. Will Hoskins is alongside him on row 8. He is on the hard tyres in the Andromeda. 17th, Arden Hutchinson, the sole Lucas on the grid. He's on the mediums, alongside Rodolfo De La Fuente, the second Andromeda on the hards. Completing the top 20 is Nikolai Milkovic in the first Chima on medium tyres, and Gabriele Garcia, disappointing qualifying also for North Star. He's on the mediums as well. 21st is Alexander Zazolya. He is on the mediums as well. Johan Halverson starts from 22nd on the soft tyres. North Star absolutely nowhere in qualifying, caught out in the conditions. Mario Juan Lopez is 23rd, he's on the hard tyres. Victor Osberg alongside in second with Lopez, he's on the mediums. And on the back row, in 25th, we've got Dmitry Kovalenko on the mediums for AMR, and Diego Campos in his first race this season for Chima, he's on the mediums. So as we go down to the grid then, it's Nathaniel Powers in pole position on the right, his teammate Klaas van Snelheid second on the left. It's a long hold here in Hockenheim. The lights go out now and we're racing in Germany. It's a good start then from what looks like Timo Kinnaman in third position. Nathaniel Powers right in the middle of the road. Kinnaman around the outside of Klaas van Snelheid at turn 1 then. Timo Kinnaman up to second place and Van Snelheid falls to third. And Kinnaman straight away on the attack. Nathaniel Powers, he looks up the inside at turn 2. Timo Kinnaman goes through straight into the lead then. So Kinnaman from third on the grid leads here in Germany. Powers second, Klaas van Snelheid third. Ruiz has got past Ellington for fourth.
Yeah, Timo Kinnaman there just displaying some of that killer instinct we've been waiting to see from him all season. He's not shown it so far, but fantastic strong start to the V-Prix.
Yeah, here Klaas van Snelheid then into the hairpin, looks down the inside of his teammate, but he's all over the curb on the inside, and I don't think that's going to work, and he's got Ruiz alongside him. On the outside, Enrique Ruiz slipstreams from Nathaniel Powers and sneaks through into third place. Both Franklins making up a lot of ground on the open lap. Meanwhile, there's a front wing there of what looks like a Lucas.
Yeah, so it looks like Hutchinson has been in the wars today. Hopefully we'll see a replay of what happened there, but besides that contact there, a pretty, I wouldn't say a clean first lap, definitely a spicy one, that's for sure.
Yeah, and look at the gap that Timo Kinnaman's opened up front already. He is absolutely flying away.
He's a flying Finn! He's not the flying Finn though, because that's not him, is he? Whoa, so that's the fastest lap. That's a surprise that no one saw coming.
Yeah, what a shocker.
I know, gosh. Speaking of shockers, Ellington has dropped a couple of places from the start and is now coming under some pressure from Kanga behind.
Yeah, so he's lost out to Ruiz and Sebastian Bergqvist as well. So Bergqvist then on the hard tyres up from 6th to 5th at the start of the race.
By the way, boys, what did we think of that little segue? That was pretty nice, right? Nice and smooth. Oh!
Here we go, Enrique Ruiz then down into the hairpins all over the curve on the inside and completely ignores the corner, but he's through past Nathaniel Powers, and that has pushed Powers out wide, and Class goes through into third as well.
Oh,
Meanwhile, some contact at the back, and that looks like Adrian Simon and Rodolfo de la Fuente.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but I didn't because I like letting Bradley do things for himself.
And look at this, Nathaniel Powers then now under attack from Sebastian Berkus, but that hasn't worked for Sweden. Ellington sweeps around the outside and moves back into 5th place.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if Powers might be nursing some damage there. Here we go then.
Yeah, so this is on board with De La Fuente, and well, it says on the back of the Lucas, kiss my gearbox, and De La Fuente took that literally.
I like that. I'm sure. Oh, wow. Oh, that's
yes.
one way to clear a roadblock.
That was what happened then, as Enrique Ruiz bangs in the fastest lap, 17.1, as 2 tenths quicker than his teammates, closing the gap. The two Downtons look as though they're really struggling in these opening laps.
Yeah, they just don't seem to have that that same confidence in the car that the Franklin boys have got in this heavy fueled open step. Oh, hello, that's Andromeda. That's Hoskins missing his left rear wheel. Gee, I wonder what's happened here, Bradley.
Oh, well, yeah, that's the Zolia park. Sorry, I missed that. I was checking something else. That's the Zolia parked up. There's Alar Kanga. I think that was him moving past Felix Becker.
The joke was,
one of the two.
The joke was that Hoskins is missing a left rear wheel and Alexander Zazoli was missing a front right. So
presumably they've collided then.
I would call that a hunch. Doesn't seem very educated guess.
Well, I'm sure we'll find out. But so we're 2 laps in and that's 2 retirements. Keep going like this, we won't have any cars left by the mid-distance.
That is the maths correct. Nope, that's not right.
No, that's the 2 wheels parked on the...
Seems safe enough.
I love how they thread them exactly through the middle. Splash match still hides. That's the last slap.
Oh.
Yeah, well, that was pretty obvious. There's a rear wing gone as well for Will Hoskins as Ollie runs into him then, and we get the first 2 retirements of the race.
Yeah, those rear wheels must have been pretty. Well, those wheels must have been pretty sticky because they just popped off the car and stuck in place.
Indeed, as Enrique Ruiz then looks up at the inside of his teammate. It's lap 4. Ruiz started 5th on the grid, and he now leads here in Germany.
Yeah, he's looking absolutely on fire this afternoon. And if he keeps this kind of driving and form up through the race, I wouldn't bet against him for a strong result. Probably a win.
Absolutely not, then. There's
a part of Kovalenko up the inside of Osterberger.
Yeah, and behind them, Diego Campos. And Campos, brought in by Chima for 3 races, this being the last of those 3. He's failed to qualify in the other 2, but well, he made the grid in this one, just.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about seeing Campos back. I kind of just used to get lucky at Indy, and that's about it.
What we should point out is he's made the grid for this one at the expense of the 2 Ocelots.
Yeah, Ocelot.
Fail to actually be on the grid for a race in the first time since they entered the series back in 2015.
Yeah, they've not quite been on the pace this weekend and missed the mark as we've got at least said Marcus Thunder, Klaus-Van Snelheid up the inside now of Timo Kinnaman. He's got that slipstream. Oh, he gets it done under braking, Bradley. He got it done under braking. Kanga's doing the same. He's doing the same.
As is Matson behind then on Felix Bay, and that was a great move from John Matson. It looked as though he came from really far back.
That is, I believe, Zylander in that mix as well. He's not supposed to be on the extra softs. Oh, never mind. That was a spiced pass though. Look at that.
Is he on the
Very
extra
nice
softs?
Pass. Yep. They're red.
Well, there you go then. Yeah, that's not the information we were given prior to the race, but there we go. You know.
He's spanked for not having the right tyres on. I mean, penalised.
I have to say, Perez has made up some ground, hasn't he?
Sure. I don't know where he started, I forgot.
I'm just trying to find him on the grid. Oh no, he started 8th, never mind. It was Azolia that was at the back.
You're a silly goose, and now he's at the back again, just not moving. He's dead. Just like his career. Oh, I said it.
Oh, that's a bit harsh.
He's been more disappointing than Perez has this season.
Yeah, and he has already been dropped for next year, is he not?
Oh yeah.
I'm sure first have announced Perez and Hoskins.
If they haven't, then sorry, Adam.
Yeah, oops. As Adrian Simon there goes up into 13th past Alex Vasquez, but the Frenchman struggling to make ground in these early stages. Meanwhile, up towards the front, Lewis Ellington seems to be holding his own in 5th place.
Yeah, he's got 2 seconds to the car in front, 2 seconds to the car behind. He's just loving life, doing whatever a healthy adult male does in the cockpit of a car. Because we've now got a proper 4-horse race for the lead at the moment, with Ruiz and Klaas taking centre stage and Kinnaman and Powers following just on the fringes.
Well, you say that, but 3 of these are on the medium tyres. Klaas is the only one on the softs.
Yeah, but it looks cool.
And Ruiz still looks like he's... I mean, Klaas is sort of like within a second, but Ruiz doesn't exactly look troubled.
Well, you don't know. He could have a crippling addiction.
He could. I want Ruiz drug tested.
Who says he's addicted to drugs? It could just be alcohol.
Which is a drug.
Oh, that's a very good defensive move there from Alvarez. Sorry to change the subject. He just covered off that inside line beautifully into the hairpin. Interesting move, obviously, between the 2 teams linked by DS automobiles. No longer for 2020. Instead, Phoenix will be supplied by Downton.
Say well and toad. As actually Klaas looks as though he's a little bit closer to Ruiz than Slack. Although you'd hope so on a bottom tyre.
Yeah, the numbers also do say that he's closer by 2/10.
Indeed.
So he's closing in, but he's just not.
Kinnaman dropping back slightly. Meanwhile, Kanga is ever so slowly starting to reel in Lewis Ellington.
Yeah, he's caught him by a second that lap. So he's clearly got something in hand over the young Brit, who, I've got to say, since he stepped into that Meteor, has been doing a spectacular job. And is a great example of why you don't just save money on cheap drivers, because a good driver can really make the difference. I don't think we're allowed to repeat that, Rob. Down to Rob with a little bit of technical analysis. What are the boys down at DS Mathershaw saying about Simon's race so far?
Well, we've seen so far a couple of decent moves from Ala Kanga to kind of push himself up the field a little bit. Unfortunately, it looks like that Adrian is completely mired in the midfield at the moment. Everything's so closely fought there that he's not really making any progress whatsoever.
I'd imagine the team are just doing what they can to try and come up with a way to get him through this gaggle of cars, but obviously it's pretty difficult to do.
Yes, the gaggle seems to be headed by Sebastian Bergqvist at the moment, obviously on the hard tyres. No great surprise there. Seems as though it's, well, the opening few laps had a few, but right now looking a little bit difficult to overtake.
Yeah, but these 2 in front now, back to the main focus of the action. They've definitely turned up the wick a bit. It's like you say, Timo Kinnaman steadily losing time, and Powers just starting to apply the pressure. Obviously, the 2 former teammates, and they're going to go wheel to wheel into the hairpin. Powers on the inside line. Is Kinnaman going to defend? He can't really do a lot. And yeah, easy as my mum.
Yeah, meanwhile, behind, Ala Kanga goes through past Lewis Ellington for 5th as well.
Yeah, and we got more moves. Felix Bayer makes a move on Jean Matson for 9th position.
Well, hang on a minute. Where's Vasquez? Why is Vasquez now 14th?
He's lost 2 places.
Wasn't he passing Bayer earlier in the race?
He was, maybe? I'm not sure. Oh, apologies for yawning. Yawned because I yawn.
Yeah, it's very late here in Germany at all of about, what, 10 past 2?
It's my fucking nap time, do you understand?
Apologise for the bad language.
I deserve my goddamn...
You deserve nothing, deal with it.
Oof.
Up front then, Klaas van Snelheid now within 4/10 of Enrico Ruiz. The pair of them closing up as Downton look as though they're starting to come into this a little bit more now. In fact, Klaas van Snelheid then, well in the slipstream. Look at this, closing all the time. He's gone to the inside for the hairpin. Enrico Ruiz tries to close the door, but it's too late. Klaas is already there. He's over the curb on the inside and through into the lead goes Klaas van Snelheid.
Yeah, and obviously that battling does actually allow Powers to actually close in a bit more. We've got Zylander now up the inside of a Burgerfist.
Yeah, Perez at the inside of Matson as well. And Zylander absolutely flying at the moment on those extra soft tyres as he's up into 7th place.
Yeah, as we got some great defensive driving there from Felix Perez, making that. Oh! I think he saw the opportunity, but just ran out of grip and had to back out of it. But
yeah, Matson seemed to carry so much speed around the outside there and then just kind of stopped dead. Meanwhile, he's taking the inside line there, and that's cost him as around the outside sweeps Adrian Simon, who moves up into 11th.
Yeah, just using every opportunity he can to make his way through the field. It's going to be a long afternoon for him still, though.
Yeah, it seems like it already nearly 17 seconds off the lead.
Absolutely, which is not where you want to be when you're in a car that should be fighting at the front.
It's not indeed. Meanwhile, the two Holmqvists are running line astern. Bergqvist and Bayer, 8th and 9th, and well, Bayer's on the soft tyres compared to his teammates' hards. You'd imagine he'd have the Swede up front would have been asked to move politely aside by now.
They probably asked him very sweetly.
And I think this may be it. As, there we go. Felix Bayer sweeps around the outside of the long left-hander, and he's already ahead as they enter the hairpin then.
And we've got something else from Rob down on the pit lane, who thought this race will be acting as our cultural correspondent. What have you got for us regarding German culture, Rob?
Well, thanks to the wonderful sponsors of this race, we've got some lovely non-alcoholic lager while the race is in a bit of a lull before the first round pit stops. I thought I'd go and sample the goods. Very good indeed. However, I've just noticed that Corey Evans looking extremely happy with that somewhat orchestrated move we feel from the Holmqvist pair there.
Yeah, seems to have gone off very nicely without a hitch.
Hold on, did you say non-alcoholic?
I'm on duty, Bradley.
I'm not. I just want to make
So is Lilly, but that doesn't seem to matter.
I'm allowed to be.
So first man into the pits then, sorry to cut across you, we've got Thierry Zylander in after 11 laps on the extra soft tyres. And wow, that's going to be, unless he can manage to eke one of those stints out for a lap longer, that's a 6 stopper. Oh no, because penultimate lap, he might get away with 5 on that one.
I would like... Math man, you're up. Robert Math, sure.
Yes. If you do 12 times 5, that's 60. That would leave 7 laps on the final stint.
Except he pitted at the end of lap 11.
Yeah, well, if he goes longer, he'll be alright.
Up the inside of... Who's that? That's Wagner. That's Milkovic on Wagner.
Wow, the Lopez looking...
Shite.
Yeah. See, Lopez, I know we've talked about this specific topic before, but they always make me giggle because they rock up with a pretty decent car. In their first couple of races, they score a couple of points that gets them some kind of stance in the constructor standings, and then they just fall off. It's like they just don't develop in the season.
Fall off? Looks as though they've dropped off the face of the cliff. That's not the phrase I was going for, but well, there we go.
Love to do that. If your friends jumped off a cliff, would you? Mate, I'd do it on my own. What do you mean? Defensive driving now then, coming in from Bergfist as Simon
Yeah, those hood turns.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are having strokes. Just bear with us.
The hard tyres on Bergqvist Holmqvist really seem to be quite slow at the moment. As down inside goes Adrian Simon. The Frenchman now up into 8th place then, so he has made the moves when necessary. Perez goes through as well, and Bergqvist now slips back to 10th.
With confidence under braking, that move is incredibly difficult to pull off. Obviously, it's an incredibly bumpy braking zone coming down from about 200 miles an hour into that hairpin, and obviously he left himself a very acute angle, but he kept it under control, didn't snatch a brake, and took the position. Very expertly done.
Yeah, meanwhile, up front, Klaasman and Schnellheit does not manage at all to break away from Ruiz, but the pair of them have dropped Kinnaman and Powers by about 4 seconds, and at some point, we've missed it, but Kinnaman's gone back through into third.
Oh yeah, he has, hasn't he? It honestly looks like between... I mean, Klaas is probably out of this fight due to strategy.
Well, yeah, because, he's going to have to make far more stops, and his game's absolutely piss all time.
That shot there was very indicative of how powerful the slipstream really is at this circuit. There's Kanga in the back of the shot, ominously looming, ever catching.
Yeah, Kanga seems as though he's closing in on these the front runners.
These silly gooses. Is Alvarez gonna? Nope. As Bergfist goes incredibly defensive.
Yeah, but that's going to leave him open to the undercut, and that's a beautiful move then from Sergio Alvarez.
You wouldn't expect any less from a former Westwood driver.
Well,
He was,
maybe.
for a little bit. No, he wasn't a Westwood youth driver.
Yes.
I only pick the best besides the ones that aren't.
You mean like Keith Boston
Yeah, but he wasn't.
and Douglas Bacon?
Douglas Bacon.
Oh, that's contact, and that is Sebastian Bergfist out of the race.
Yep, there's wheels, there's wings, carbon fibre confetti all over the track. That is not what you would like to see.
And which of the Ingrams was that? Oh, and that's one of the Lopez straight into the stranded car of Bergfist as well. It was Jean Matson then that hit him.
Yikes. That is not really the best way
Meanwhile,
to play.
up front, Enrique Ruiz right in the slipstream with Klaas van Schouwen, and I think we might potentially get an overtake. No. Klaas holds on. Meanwhile, behind them, Nathaniel Powers is back through onto McKinnon for third.
Yeah, and oh, he's made. Oh, I was about to say he's made it look easy, and then he just completely squirreled away on the exit and nearly spun it around. It looked like he didn't seem very. Didn't seem like the car was gripping.
No, he didn't indeed. As the Lopez involved in that little tangle was Elroy Wagner, and there we go on board with Vasquez. Oh, that would not have been fun sat in that cockpit.
No, I bet he's gonna need a change of pants at the next pit stop.
I'm not sure you can change pants. What are you shrieking at?
Bradley, we've been commentating together for like a decade. I'll just shriek at anything I want to. It's a primal instinct that we should all follow more. Do you ever find that urge where you just no reason, you're not scared, you're not angry, you're not sad, you just want to scream and make a loud noise? No.
There's always a reason if I want to scream.
Down to the pit lane with someone who's on my side of the argument. Rob, what do you got for us? So we've got Ruiz now making the most of the slipstream on this curve straight thing, and he's up the inside into the hairpin, which is turned. I don't really know. He's climbing all over the curve, but he manages to nail the exit, and Klaas just didn't look like he's got anything to fight back with. And the hairpin is called the Parabolica, apparently.
I wonder if the but we're just going to refer to it as the hairpin because that's what everyone knows it as. I do wonder if the soft tyres on the Downton are starting to drop off now.
Quite possibly. Robert Mathershore. I know I'm not supposed to react to things that you people can't see, but he's sending me very silly things.
Yeah, we do keep getting little notifications in our ear from him down in the lane.
So Ruiz has already pulled out 7/10 over Klaas, so he seems to have. I don't really know. It almost seems like those mediums are playing back into the hands of Franklin now, because obviously Kinnaman's looking a bit more on it with Powers. I don't know, but anyway, Rob, how are we looking in terms of strategy? What kind of pits? Yeah.
I get you. So
windows.
I'll tell you.
Hello, carry on.
Sorry, I was just going to say. I'll tell you one thing. Where there is not, despite the potential forecast, there is not a cloud in the sky today, so I don't think there's any chance of it being moist anytime soon.
No, I think we're going to be looking at the strategy playing out to its full effect here. We've just entered the window for a 3-stop strategy. Anybody that wants to try and go for a 2-stop needs to stretch it another 6 laps. So it's probably going to be quite difficult for the people on the same tyres to have that kind of advantage over everybody else.
Did anyone see that little... Oh, thank you for that, by the way, Rob. I should probably thank you when you do stuff for us. Yeah, anyone see that open-ended... Yeah. Yes. Back to you again, Rob. Talk about the spanners.
Oh, sorry, to cut across into the pits comes Klaus van Schnellheid then. So, the first of the soft runners is in for his stop at the end of lap 17.
Got him.
Down to Rob in the pits to cover the stop.
So he's just coming now. It looks like a very good stop from the Downton boys, but he's had to be held briefly as one of the DS cars comes in. It's only
Kanga.
just on the cusp of a 3-stop strategy. Kanga in, and he has got out in front of the midfield.
Bayer and Simon pit as well, as does Alvarez.
So it looks like they were just trying to eke it out to the edge of that 3-stop strategy then. Anyone can jump on that, it's fine.
Bayer's, sorry, I'm watching to see how they come out of the pit lane. Bayer's got out ahead. Adrian Simon only a couple of seconds behind him then.
Yeah, and also crucially managed to get out in front of that Andromeda and that Chima, which means that he's not... yeah, I nearly forgot.
Yeah.
So he's now got the chance to chase down the boys in front of him.
Yeah, absolutely has. As
it looks like the pit stop delta here is about 20 seconds. I might be wrong.
Yeah, it looks about right. Klaus van Schnellheid crucially then has come out ahead of Perez and in quite a bit of clear air. So with a bit of luck, he'll be able to use that to reel in, or at least make some ground up on the top 3 on the medium tyres.
Yeah, Alvarez really on it with these fresh soft tyres. He is loving the extra grip that's been afforded to him. He dispatched the Andromeda early in the lap, and now he is really hassling, absolutely harrying this little Chima all the way through the lap, scrubbing around trying to find a way past. But there's just no way to pass until you get to the straights.
Perez dives in as well then on the soft tyres. Interesting. I just wonder how Zylander is currently 11th then. So as it stands, Zylander has jumped both Bayer and Simon, but obviously he is on the extra softs and will have to make, what do we calculate as? 2 more stops? If the soft tyre runners are doing 3, he's on 5.
Yeah. What do we have happening? Here's Felix Bayer. Oh, so we've got Zylander with a nice pull out on Gabriel Garcia there.
Yeah.
There's Felix. And, there's contact. They're rubbing wheels. But Garcia, firm but fair racing there as he just squirms around on the straight for some reason.
As behind them, Simon tries to go around the outside of Perez, but can't make it work as Rob's got news for us down in the pit lane.
With the Zylander situation, with the extra soft tyres, with the 5-stop strategy, it looks like the next pit stop that he makes may well coincide with anybody who managed to run with a 2-stop. So anybody that's stuck behind him in traffic potentially will get a double effect, because for the next stint they may well have to overtake him on the track as well.
Brilliant, thanks for that, Rob, as Klaus van Schnellheid bangs in another fast lap. So those soft tyres are working for him, and in fact he's already cut the gap down to Enrico Rees. So it was 20 seconds when he came out of the pits. It's now under 18 in just a couple of laps.
Oh boy, Adam Johnson's going to be all over it in a minute. I'm proud of that one. Can anyone? Did we all enjoy that?
But Adam Johnson did.
Everyone loves a joke about a nonce. Right. Because we've got Zylander with a strong pull out again on good old Gabby. But who comes back at him? Re-attack.
Oh, and there's contact as they swing into the hairpin then. There's Zylander really cut across. They've come out incredibly, totally unscathed, and Garcia's held the position. This is really holding those up behind them now as well.
Yeah, obviously they're desperate to get this battle done with so they can actually move on with their lives. But they're stuck at a race time. Yeah. Well, I suppose...
Zylander switched up the inside there, but it's that's not going to work behind them though. Adrian Simon has used that absolutely brilliantly to try and get a run on Felix Perez. He's done Perez. Can he do Bayer as well? In one corner, Adrian Simon's done both Felixes.
You naughty fucking frog. Am I allowed to say that?
No, probably not. But you know what? I've kind of given up giving a shit.
Okay. I bet
down the inside, Adrian Simon, what a move!
Blimey, I bet the inside of Rob's pants are pretty moist right now. Rob, how are you feeling about that lap? That was stunning, wasn't it?
I feel like he's starting to get into this race a little bit more now. Feeling comfortable with the tyres, with the conditions. He's certainly managing to do quite well out of this one.
Here we go, Adrian Simon. He's now got a run on Gabriele Garcia then. In fairness, he did completely cut turn one to go past Islander, but, you know, it seems to be acceptable in this. Around the outside of Garcia, at the hairpin then, Adrian Simon, can he make up 4 places in less than a lap? I think he is going to be able to do this one, and he does. Simon through into 9th, and Garcia's lost out to Felix Bear as well. But he goes back up the inside. There's nearly contact between the Honkus and the North Star, but not quite. Garcia gets back ahead.
I've got to say, Garcia driving the race of his life is Zylander now on the attack, on the outside of
yeah,
Bear.
that's going to cost Bear being on the inside there, and it does indeed. Zylander around the outside. Bear's holding on, but Perez is there as well. Perez at the inside, he's nearly hit Zylander, and all the cars are trying to aim for one piece of tarmac.
Yeah, and now Alvarez wants a piece of the action. He smells the cake and he's like, oh, cut me a slice, let me in.
Meanwhile, look at the gap that Simon has opened up already over this lot. 2 seconds in just 2 sectors.
Yeah, because they obviously spent a lot of time in the stadium section.
Yeah, meanwhile, look at this then. Klaas van Snelheid tucked right up behind Lewis Ellington already, and this is costing him time.
Yeah, obviously that dirty air, and also the fact that he can't take the line that he wants and make use of those fresh tyres. So he really needs to be dispatching Ellington quick, but he's stuck behind him for the rest of the lap now. Probably. No, yeah.
It does seem like he might be.
Yeah, Garcia he's been driving a pretty decent race. He seems not fast about letting other people through, but he'll be damned if he's letting Bayer through this race, it seems. Oh, there's slight contact there, it looks like. Zylander up inside, and Perez cannot take that place.
No, we can't. There's Klaas van Snelheid still behind Lewis Ellington then.
Do we know what that spanner on the screen means, either of you?
I believe it means that there is possibly a technical fault with the car, but don't quote me on that.
Oh, we've got chaos then in the final sector. 3 cars absolutely side by side. It's finally Klaas van Snelheid looks as though he's got a run on Ellington and down the inside into the hairpin through into 4th place. But well, that's cost him a lap's worth of time at least. Meanwhile, further back, Zylander has lost a shed load of time. Alvarez in the pits, and his teammate follows him.
Is there been contact, maybe?
So both Phoenixes then, something's gone wrong somewhere, as off the track is, well, Perez, because Zoli's out of the race already at that corner.
Yeah. So, I think there must have been contact there. We'll get a replay.
Suddenly, everyone in that midfield fight has vanished. Apart from Bayer, who's just now sat there on his own, 4 seconds behind Garcia.
De La Fuente making moves past Milkovic up into 12th place. Obviously, Hoskins out of the race. Rodolfo is definitely doing everything he can.
Here we go then. So Perez and Zylander came together. Both, that was like, in sync, wasn't it? They tried to rejoin the track and then crashed into, Zylander into his teammate and Perez into Bayer.
Alex Easton's going to be having some very angry northern words with them, his drivers, after the race. Because,
yes, I should imagine.
Zylander has not only just screwed his own race, but he's also put Alvarez into another driver. So, wouldn't want to be in that debriefing room.
No, absolutely not. With a bit, thankfully, it looks as though both Perez and Bayer got away with that one, but the 2 Phoenix cars, that has cost them dear.
As we've now got Simon overtaking Lopez. For 8th place. I'm a natural at this.
In fairness, has that really cost Zylander? Because I think that was about when he'd have made his pit stop anyway. He might luck into that one. Or at least not really lose anything apart from the time in the spin.
Spot wonderful.
That was really nothing that anyone wanted to know.
Rob wants to know.
I'm not so sure about that. As Nathaniel Powers down the inside of Kinnaman for 2nd.
Shit. You should just want to done it.
That kind of wasn't expecting that one. So these top three, who are still yet to make their first stop, then on the medium tyres, and we are now rapidly heading towards one-stop territory. He says about 8 laps early. But Nathaniel Bowers then back into second place. Klaus van Snelheid now only 15 seconds off lead, so he's taken 5 out of Ruiz since he's been out of the pits. As Adrian Simon goes past James Vasquez, and the Frenchman now up into a solid 7th place.
You always leave me talking gaps when I'm having a beer.
Well,
but yeah, worth pointing out that Robert wants to talk.
worth pointing out that Alar Kanga has a huge gap has opened up between Kanga and what appears to be the sort of like the midfield down to the back of the grid. Because let's be fair, it is pretty much everyone else.
You did just steal my point there, because even though, of course, they are consecutive positions on the racetrack, the two DS management cars are a good sector of the circuit apart.
And what that's going to leave then, Rob, I should imagine, is quite a gap for the leaders to slot into.
I would say at worst they'll be caught behind Kanga, who will eventually have to hit. At best, they're really going to have plenty of open air, so might not even catch him before he does pit.
Absolutely, certainly be interesting to see when they dive in then. Well, that's someone in the pit. Oh, it's Gobelenko. Ah, but he's on the mediums.
Yeah, hello.
Wow, in comes Perez behind him though, so I wonder if there's been contact. Ah, that's Kovalenko without a rear wing then. Rob, what can you see in the pit?
No rear wing is what I can see at the moment. They're hard work to get to try and fix the car, but I don't think that car will be coming out of the pit lane anytime soon.
I do, give it 2 laps and he'll be back out.
He'll only be 1 lap behind the last
place.
place.
A long time. That is not anytime soon.
There we go. Is that Ruiz lapping traffic? I think it is.
Yeah, it'd be nice if the traffic just ran into him, wouldn't it? No. Alright, fair enough.
Hostility there going on, Bradley. What's up?
What?
You had an argument with your missus, which of course is your hand.
Well, no, but he's leading and we're not, so it'd be nice if someone just shuffled him out of the way. He has lost time there though. The Powers and Kinnaman now back within 3 seconds of him.
Yeah, that's actually kind of strange. Is Bayer
he's lost time lapping the traffic, hasn't he?
Garcia. He just can't find a way. Hasn't he done it now? Finally.
Yeah, he has.
Yay! Oh, man alive, that is.
Yeah, Bayer's lost a lot of time doing that. Meanwhile, further up the road, Kanga has got past Ellington for 5th.
He's good like that. But Simon is actually losing time to them, even with that overtake.
Whoa! Garcia goes back down the inside, spins at the hairpin, and I think that might have absolutely sealed the move for Felix Bayer. Just a note, further up, all that traffic, look at the gap now between Ruiz and Klaus van Snelheid. It's only 10 seconds.
Oh, hey! I didn't see that there. Yeah, so we think Ruiz has lost some time somewhere. There's there's the possible technical fault.
Yeah, and the top 3 now within 2 seconds.
He's slowing down. You can hear it on the revs. But it's on the it's on Kinnaman's screen as well. Well, after they pit last round.
Well, the top 3 haven't pitted yet.
Oh, the medium.
But look at this, look at the gap. There we go. Look, the gap's back up to now 3 seconds. So it is just how slow they are being caught behind or how long they are being caught behind the back markers, sorry. And how slow these back markers proven to be. And that powers into the back of Alroy Wagner.
Contact. And Kinnaman goes through under a yellow flag.
And Ruiz pits them from the lead.
Yeah, so I guess we'll go to our one and only Robert Mathershaw, the man with a man, and the pit.
The man with the man.
So Ruiz has just come in, he stopped, and indeed Kinnaman and Van Snelheid, have all come in as well. It's going to be very tight to see where they emerge. Kanga goes through, I believe, and Ellington, I think, crucially as well. So 2 cars between the 3 at the front, the one at the front, and Van Snelheid, who is also in contention for the race victory today.
Yeah, well, it was looking close for for a period, but Ruiz, Kinnaman and Powers are now well behind Kangaroo and Ellington because they got held up so much in that traffic.
Hey Rob, while we've got you real quick, even though we've got you all raced, you are like our little bitch.
Hello there.
Does that count as a yellow flag overtake, or does that count as avoiding an obstruction on the racetrack?
I think you have to exercise a little bit of common sense. If he was the only way to avoid overtaking of that situation would have been to stop on a live track. So I don't think there are many drivers that would have taken that option other than just to overtake and get out of the way of the situation entirely.
Thanks for that, Rob. I'm never quite sure on the rules because I don't.
There we go. That's what happened. Sorry to get across, but that is what happened then between Perez and Kovalenko.
Yeah, so that'll be why.
Kovalenko, who is back out on track. Albeit now 2 laps down, and so it's totally pointless. Well, let's be fair, it was pointless. I'm starting the races in an AMR. No offence, but bit of shit. In comes Ellington then, Rob.
Yep, he's just up there, hits his marks nicely. It looks like the Meteor boys are going to be all right with this pit stop. Yep, good, decent time there. But it looks like it's going to be very close from the exit. Adrian Simon may well overtake him, and indeed, I think he has that.
Yeah, we can confirm Simon has gone through then. Ellington rejoins in 7th, but still looking to be a solid race so far for the Brett.
For both cars, really. Look at Lopez. He's not exactly. No, he's still got a pit, but he's not too bad.
Campos is 13th. Campos is pitting, never mind.
Ha! Yeah, they don't. Nothing. I'm not talking to myself. I promise this isn't what's happening. As Kinnaman is looking a bit underwhelming this afternoon, if I'm honest.
Yes.
That Franklin's clearly got a bit of a pace advantage over the, at least, the Downton Powers this afternoon. So why he's not able to escape his grasp, I don't know.
Well, no, let's be fair, Ruiz has a pace advantage.
Ruiz is a very, quick boy. Oh, okay.
Kinnaman.
You heard me chatting shit. He was like, chat shit, get banged, fam. Never mind then. Take it back. I've just literally been forced to eat my words with a slice of humble pie.
Well and truly.
I'm very humble. I'm like the humblest person I know. What can I say? My favourite flavour of pie is cream.
Humble.
I love a good old cream.
Ooh, just noticed up in front of Kinnaman and Powers here, Enrique Ruiz once again stuck in quite a bit of traffic. And this could play into the hands of Klaas van Snelheid.
Yeah.
So Van Snelheid, who already made 10 seconds in his first stint, well, that gap's now up to 11.
He's getting older. Still stuck. That's more time lost.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least at the moment he's tucked up behind Perez, and Perez is in a first, which we've seen from this season is reasonably quick at least.
Yeah, it's in a really reasonable position as well.
Well, yeah, but they are 4th in the championship, so the car's quick. He's just had a bit of a naff race. Not as naff as his teammate, mind you, but, you know.
How's Ruiz still stuck? How's he gained time while being stuck? Oh,
well, maybe Klaas is stuck as well. Klaas is coming to the end of his stint, though, isn't he? Rob, when are we expecting Klaas in the pits?
Imminently, really. Next couple of laps.
Thought as much. Cheers.
Could you imagine in the olden days when they used to put oil in the car in the pit stops? Never mind. Got Ruiz unlapping himself for some spicy clean air.
Yeah, there we go. So, but the gap now to the guys behind is down to, what, 2 seconds? And it's going to depend how quickly Kinnaman and Powers can dispose of Elroy, never mind.
Yikes.
Straight past.
I love interesting facts about Cadillacs. Tell me, Robert.
So you're saying when they used to put oil in, there is a couple of cars in modern motorsport that still have to do that. The Cadillac Daytona prototype, some pit stops they still have to put a bit of extra oil in because it burns it off so quickly.
Ha! That's actually really cool. I mean, terrible for them, but I suppose it's not that difficult to actually do that while they're doing other stuff on the car.
Yes, that one. Ellington's just passed Adrian Simon. I know he's just come out of the pits and is on some fresh tyres. I'm just wondering if there's a problem. Rob, could you head down to Mathshaw and just find out for us?
Yeah, I'll give her a ring.
Waddle over. Damn DeVito looking. Can he still hear us?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I'm afraid so.
On board with Nathaniel Powers then, he looks as though he's got to run on to Hockenheim. Goes to the outside on the straight left curve thing, down the inside into the hairpin, and Nathaniel Powers looks as though he's going to move up into 4th place, and indeed he does.
Yep, Kinnaman saw that coming a mile off and did nothing whatsoever to combat that. He didn't defend the position. Never mind.
Well, I mean, I'm not entirely sure he needs to. He can kind of like sit close, sit in the slipstream, and take it back next lap.
Slipstream. But will he?
Yeah, well, strip streams sound more fun than slipstreams.
Does it? I would quite prefer to be motor racing than to have some scantily clad individual on my lap.
Bullshit.
Do you reckon a strip stream is just a golden shower? Ahmed, close your ears for that.
I don't know. I was more thinking maybe like a striptease, but in a stream.
Oh, okay, maybe. That's kind of cool. Like Mark Darcy.
Like who? We should probably say, Rob, have you arrived at Mathshaw yet?
Yes.
Yeah, he did say
Lilly, I've waddled over and I've just had to sit down on the pit wall for a couple of minutes to regain my breath, and I can confirm that it would appear that it's just that the tyres are starting to go off a little bit for Adrian compared to the fresh tyres for Ellington. So hopefully, well, from my point of view, hopefully Simon will be able to up the pace a little bit after the next pit stop.
Wonderful, yeah, and I think it's. I think we can see that these soft tyres going off. Ruiz now looks as though he's trimmed the gap slightly to both Kanga and Klaas van Snelheid up ahead. I believe the Mathshaw team are readying for Kanga to pit this lap.
We're at the halfway point.
Are we?
Yeah!
Wonderful. I'm fairly sure we're not. I'm fairly sure we're past the halfway point. But
You're fuck. Stop them.
you know, there we go. Into the pits comes Klaas van Snelheid then, and indeed Kanga follows him in. Rob?
Yeah, Ala's coming in now. The Mathshaw boys are very ready for him, but of course Klaas van Snelheid is ahead of him. He's hit his marks good. The boys look like they're doing well, and he is out.
Yeah.
No issue with Kanga either.
Sorry, I'm just going to jump in. Once again then, Klaas got held by his team to let Ala Kanga come through. He's lost quite a bit of time there.
Yeah, it looks like actually he's probably lost about 2 or 3 seconds with that. And Adrian Simon in the pits as well. So coming to the end of his stint, that just confirms that Ellington's tyres were a lot fresher. So that's where a lot of the pace came from. It'll be interesting to see whether or not he can close that gap a bit more now.
Absolutely. Where is Simon going to rejoin then? He comes back out onto the track in 9th place, 3 seconds behind Mario Juan Lopez.
JML.
JML indeed.
Harry.
Klaas then has rejoined just over 10 seconds off the lead. So, I mean, he's maintained that. Well, he gained sort of 10 seconds in the first stint. But in the first half of the race, he's got 10 seconds to make up in the second half if he's to win this one. Although that's suddenly, he's losing a lot of time. Klaas van Snelheid, we've got a yellow flag in the 3rd sector. What's gone on here then?
He's dropping down the order.
Absolutely, he's lost that 10 seconds he's gained. He's still going there. We've got him on screen. The car looks as though it's in one piece, but he's lost 9 seconds. Here we go, on board with Klaas, and he's just taken far too much curb on the inside and looped it round into the gravel, and he's absolutely thrown that one away. Any chance he had of the win now is well and truly gone out the window.
Yeah, unfortunately Klaas has just been his own worst enemy there. No one made him make that mistake. He just... Yikes. I imagine the team principal won't be too happy about that, but I don't have to imagine. Because I know you're not, because I can see that little vein in your head popping out.
Oh, there's more than one of them. Meanwhile, Powers and Kinnaman absolutely at it again.
Yeah, just constantly battling hammer and tongue. Is that Ellington coming back at Klaas?
Yeah, well, that's Klaas dived down the inside, but braked far too deep. And that gave Ellington the chance to come back at him, and Klaas has cut across in front of him, and Ellington just gives him a little love tap there, but they both seem to have got away with it, and Klaas is through him back into 5th place.
Yeah, obviously when you
When you cut across in front is what you were going to say. Do you want to finish that?
I do. When you cut across the front end of the car like that, especially coming down from high speed, you effectively suddenly drastically reduce the effectiveness aerodynamics of the car by obviously not giving them such an uninterrupted clear airflow. So what ends up happening is that drivers will have to increase their braking distances quite suddenly, and obviously that's not how the laws of physics works. Trust me, I'm a mechanic. Rob, do you have anything to add to my fantastic technical analysis? Because if not, I'm having your job.
Take my job, but I'm keeping the checks.
That's fair, I don't even get paid, so... We just always make sure they've got the room stocked up for beer. And other stuff that I'm not allowed to talk about.
Oh dear. On board then with Adrian Simon as he tries to take 8th place off of Mario Juan Lopez. And can't do it. Oh, and I thought he was going to hit him then.
Touch his butt.
But he didn't. Oh look, there's Hutchinson. We've not seen him since he lost his front wing on the open lap. Never mind, there he's gone again.
And he's been quietly productive.
I mean, he hasn't. He's last bar Kovalenko, who spent 2 laps in the pits having his rear wing changed.
Yes, but he easily has the slowest car on the grid.
True. We've got a yellow flag in the middle sector, and it's a pretty solid one. So I'm wondering if we have a retirement from this race. Who's losing time?
My bad.
He is. That's Alvarez.
Oh, Sergio! Learn to drive.
I mean, slightly hard to drive when your engine's clearly gone kaput.
This is why you didn't get to carry on with Westwood.
And kaput is the perfect word because in German that means broken.
Oh, that's probably why we use it.
Yeah, there we go, see?
Because we're a nation of Nazis.
Every day's a school. I mean, wow.
That one caught you off guard there, Bradley, didn't it?
Yeah, apparently Diego Campos is now British as well, according to that graphic we've just seen.
That's kind of cool. What else don't we know about him? He has a
17 children.
He doesn't.
He does.
No, I said who doesn't.
Oh, no, Campos. Diego Campos has 17 children.
I know, and I said who doesn't.
Oh, right, I've got you. Sorry, I was a little bit slow there. I doesn't.
Hey.
And you doesn't. And I'm fairly sure Rob doesn't. Rob?
It's Dorban.
No, I have 17 fewer than that.
That's a whole none.
Yes, it's been a very successful period of time so far. Just a little note on the Alvarez incident there. I'd like to think I'm relatively well placed to tell you that it was indeed a fuel injector failure that took him out of the race. And with Marshall next to me, I heard on the radio, 9 der Knote ist gestorben, which I'm reliably informed means the engine died.
But it certainly looked like it died.
Why do they speak German?
That would be because we're in Germany.
Germany.
Are we?
Everybody loves Germany.
Sugar. As round the outside of Lopez then goes Adrian Simon. He's sat there for a few laps, but he looks as though he's finally got the move done through and into 8th place. Klaus van Schnellheid, meanwhile, has closed back in 4 of the seconds that he lost on Rico Rees. So if he'd have not been a moron and binned it, he'd only be 6 seconds off the lead. But well, possibly not. It might have been qualifying Kinnaman, but you know, he'd have been right there. But no. Thierry Zylander, meanwhile, up and under on Victor Osberg, and that is beautiful from Belgium. Through and up into 16th place as he looks to recover from his earlier incident with Perez. Yes? Anyone? Vasquez pits. James Vasquez then makes a stop, rejoins in 9th place, still within the points. I'm not the only one confused about the message that I've just had in my ear from Rob, am I?
No, I don't quite understand, Rob. What do you mean?
Well, listen, I can hear you at all times, but don't forget the Baron has to turn me on before I can speak.
Oh, does he now? Or she?
Let's hope for Rob's sake it's a she.
What's wrong with Rob fucking a dude?
Nothing, but I'm fairly sure he prefers she's. That was the worst way to word that.
Can confirm, however.
He's not fussed.
Listen, a director is a director.
You got to do what you got to do to get the airtime. Do you know what I mean? If you've got to let the director turn you on, you've got to let the director turn you on. We've reached a bit of a lull in the V-Prix, so I'm going to do something that's going to annoy Bradley and re-say that phrase, because we've reached a bit of a lull in the Grand Prix.
It's a V-Prix.
Oh, I know.
Has been for several years.
It's been a V-Prix as long as I can remember.
Can I just point out, I mean, even if you say no, tough shit I'm going to, Halverson and Garcia, actually, given, you know, the two North Stars started practically so far back, they might as well have still been in Austria, they're up to 11th and 12th.
Yeah, they've had a really good race, but I think it's because they're on the hards. Or we've seen hard pit stops.
Have we seen hard pit stops? That's a strange
Hard-
phrase. As Milkovic passed his teammate, and Zylander goes past him as well, so Campos once again proving he's a bit shit.
You're really going after Campos today, huh?
Well, yeah, Zylander unlapped himself from Ruiz, brilliant.
He's done it and all.
Yes, Thierry. Someone sign that boy.
Nope.
I know he's already signed to Phoenix, who are using our engines next year. Good choice. Good choice, old son. Someone pay that boy more money. Interestingly, Kinnaman's lost like 2.5 seconds now of Powers. They've been battling throughout the first stint. Since they pitted, he just seems as though he's been slowly dropping back. No? No one?
I think it's... I'm not gonna lie, I stopped listening to you again.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
No.
I said Kinnaman dropped back from Powers since they pitted.
We've seen this before where, no, I forgot what I was going to say. Down to Rob with his expert opinion while I go... I'm going to say it.
I think we've, as you say, we've reached a bit of a lull in this V-Prix, and Bradley, going back to that, do we know what the V stands for? Is there an official line for that?
Virtual.
It is Virtual Prix, fantastic. Yeah. Also, is there a distinction between when we were originally calling them Grand Prix to V-Prix, just like in another series where there is a distinction between a World Championship race and not?
No, they've always been V-Prix, it's just no one knows.
I see, right, that's as clear as mud, thank you.
You're welcome. I get the feeling that Lilly has vanished for a bit, so...
If you give me 30 seconds, I'm going to hot-foot it up to the commentary box until she comes back.
Wonderful. As Nikolai Milkovic then defending from Thierry Zylander, the pair of them have now been lapped by Ruiz. We have a brief yellow flag in the first sector. What have we got then? Well, Powers is 5 seconds behind Ruiz. He's got that 2.5 second gap to Kinnaman. And Klaas van Snelheid is closing in all the time on his soft tyres. He's now just under 14 seconds off of Ruiz then. But, well, you know, what could that have been if he hadn't made that mistake earlier on? And Rob has just joined me in the commentary box.
Hello there. It's very nice in here. It's much warmer too. It's lovely.
It is. To be fair, it's not too cold outside.
It's not bad, but this has air conditioning, so if I want it cooler, we can do.
Indeed, just saying that Klaas really looks as though he's making the most out of these tyres now, and what it could have been.
Yeah, he's pulling in a pretty good rate of knots here on our Kanga. It'll be interesting to see how much of a fight the Estonian can actually put up against Van Schnellheid based on the pace that we've seen so far this race.
Yeah, it certainly seems as though the DS Manager is absolutely lacking compared to Downton Franklin. But I think Kanga has done an absolutely phenomenal job to still be within 12 seconds of the lead here.
Yeah, definitely. I think the qualifying session wasn't good for Kanga or indeed any of the DS Manager or either of the DS Manager drivers. I think, yeah, he's definitely making a claim to be one of the better drivers on the grid. I think it'll be interesting next season to see what happens with him. Of course, with ourselves moving to Porsche, so this race will effectively be our home race next season, which will be quite interesting. But with our driver lineup rumoured not necessarily to include Kanga, it'll be interesting to see where he goes from here.
Indeed, it certainly will be. Sorry, I was itching my eye.
It's alright, I thought I'd been abandoned and I was the only one here now.
No, well, you see, because I'm very much male. I can only do one thing at once.
Ah. Yeah, I have that problem, but sometimes I can't even do the one thing properly, so it just sounds like I'm bumbling.
Oh, I definitely can't do the one thing properly.
No, that's what she said. Sorry, I have been watching far too much of The Office recent days, you probably just gathered.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Rightio, we have someone in the pits. It's Zylander. That will be his fourth stop, I believe, as Nathaniel Powers puts a lap on Campos.
Unfortunately, I'm not down there, so I'll look out the commentary booth window because you have actually got a lovely view here. He's again, he's pulled up. It looks like he's going to be the only one. I reckon he will lose another position in the pits, and he might come out just behind De La Fuente, and indeed he has done.
Yeah, absolutely beautifully called then, Rob. As Zylander does indeed rejoin on his extra soft tyres in 16th place. He's got, well, we reckon one stop to go, although, wow, that was lap 45 actually. He's going to have to make these tyres last.
Yeah, definitely. I reckon it'll be lap 60, 61 when he gets to his final time.
How'd you work that one out? He's only been doing like 11 lap stints.
I think the last stint was a bit longer, I think. Because 11
Yeah, not
lap
that long.
44.
Well, we'll see.
But anyway, we'll see who's right and who's wrong, and I'm pretty sure it won't be me.
As we go on board with Nikolai Milkovic, who is getting a blue flag then.
I think that's something that we've seen with the graphics this weekend as well. A little bit more information about the cars and the flag situation. I really like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Who's that going past him? I think that's Kinnaman, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kinnaman then, who's lost another second to Powers. Or half a second.
I think that the traffic here, I think with both Chimas there, I think both of the front runners have just got past them. So a bit of status quo. Obviously, Kinnaman still has one more of them to get past, so Powers might make up a little bit more time yet.
Just want to point out that Chima's best result so far this season is a 13th place, which has helped them above Lucas and AMR in the championship. And ridiculously, Diego Campos seems to have a habit of doing this, but he'll do shite in nearly every race, and then suddenly he'll have a standout, and I'd almost say this is it. 13th in Ujima is a solid effort so far from Campos, and looks to match their best result so far this season.
Yeah, he's definitely got a knack of pulling out the big results and the big performances when they're needed the most. Of course, as you say, with a 13th place, another one for Chima in such a tight midfield battle will surely help their cause no end.
Why would they need another one?
Oh, Lilly has rejoined us.
I had
Hello
to
there.
make wee.
It's a little bit crowded in here, but I like it.
Oh no.
But yeah,
Brad at the front and I'm at the back.
if Chima managed to get a second 13th place finish, it means that any other team that gets one 13th place will obviously still be behind them in the championship.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's an insurance policy.
Yeah, absolutely right. I will hand over this microphone to you, and I'll make my way back down to the natural habitat. And
Thanks.
I'll speak to you soon.
You didn't have to slobber on it so much. It's not supposed to go in your throat. And he's gone.
Yeah, probably for the best, to be fair.
Yeah.
He departed, and you didn't hear the comment that he made.
Oh, what did he say?
I'll not repeat it.
Was he sniffing my chair?
Was he sniffing your chair?
Yeah, it's a thing.
No.
Oh. I would sniff my chair. What did you call me?
You're a very strange individual, though.
Alright, down to Rob in the pit lane so the director can unmute
Hang
him.
on, he's not got back there yet. Give him 20 seconds. We've got Alar Kanga on screen then, I think.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do. That's Kanga, you div.
No, it's not.
It is.
Nope.
Absolutely is.
You
Trying
have
to lap
to-
Diego Campos then in 13th place. And Kanga, I'd almost say Kanga's closing on Kinnaman.
He is. If you look at the numbers, Bradley, they're changing.
Shut your face. Rob.
What'd you call me?
Nope, I still don't think Rob's made it back yet.
There are stairs in a way, so
Wow, yeah.
that's his like mortal enemy, stairs.
Yeah, but you thought,
Rui. So, did I miss anything while I was gone?
there was a 14 car pile up. Everyone died, but then they all miraculously came back to life and carried on.
As you do.
In the exact same order that they were originally.
That's pretty convenient actually for the race as well.
Yeah, well, well, it would have been nice to shake things up. I mean, imagine if the top 14 had retired. You'd have Zylander winning from Perez and De La Fuente. I mean, that'd be pretty funky. What a podium.
It'd be like the 96 Monaco Grand Prix where Olivier Pines got his only win. His class is desperate to unlap this traffic here, taking a few risks that he probably doesn't need to.
No, well, I mean, you can see the time it's cost him. He was sort of 13 seconds back from the leader. He's now 14, so it has cost him being behind Campos there.
Right,
As
down
I
to
suppose
Rob.
it would anyone.
Huh?
Well, I
Yeah.
suppose it would cost anyone time being behind Campos because, slow.
Time is free. And also non-existent. Once you realise that time only exists because we perceive it, then you realise that everything's a lie.
That was very deep. I think Rob got lost momentarily on his way, but he is now apparently back in the pit lane. Rob?
No, I knew exactly where I was going. I headed straight for the famous Lucas Hospitality tent where I got another beer. Pro.
And a jab bussy.
No, I have a Wiener Schnitzel actually, but I'm going to keep that until the end of the race.
Oh, what are you going to do with it?
Well,
Don't answer that.
Lily. But I'm taking full advantage of the fact that while again there's not necessarily an awful lot going on in the pit lane right now, I'm going to be cultural correspondent for the virtual.
I really hope that Lucas is watching our race commentary live. Can you save me a sausage?
Oh, I'm sure he can. If not, Rob can.
I'm slightly peckish.
I can go back and get you another one. It's okay.
You want him to save you a pecker?
But
Oh,
no,
so we've got
that's not what I
Class in
said.
the pit.
Yeah, class in the pits then for what will be, in theory, his final stop of the race. Rob?
Here we go. He's changed the tyres again. Another good stop onto the fresh set, and it looks like he might just about manage to get out ahead of. No, he hasn't. Allinson has jumped him in the stop.
Yeah, he
Man,
has.
that
For
traffic
once,
is-
though,
oh.
Klaas Venschnauer has not had to wait for Alar Kanga in the pits, so that's something. But he has come out behind De La Fuente and Ostberg,
Osterberg.
as well as
I've-
obviously
what-
Ellington, as Rob mentioned.
I had a very nice German beer. I was going to say this morning, I don't drink in the mornings.
That's
Called
a lie.
First-
Oh, Klaas
Oh,
Venschnauer then came in very hot there, but look at that. He's he's lapped both cars in one corner. Solid.
Yeah. So after I mentioned that he was stuck behind traffic, he was like, bruh, nah.
Yeah, and I think we've got Alar Kanga coming in this lap as well.
This is gonna be really tight.
What's
'cause-
interesting, Klaas only lost 18 seconds in that stop there. He's 20 behind Kanga, so this is going to be close, I think, between the pair of them.
Sorry.
He's just coming in now, coming into the silent line. He's driving down. Again, obviously, if he can get ahead of Klaas Venschnauer, the crucial thing is can he get ahead of Ellington as well? It'll be very tight indeed. We can't see the pit lane, unfortunately.
Here comes
No, we
Klaas.
can't. We've got
Yeah.
we've got visual on Klaas, and he is closed immediately right onto the back of Lewis Ellington. Where is Kanga? Kanga, I think, is out
He's
and
ahead.
clear and in fourth place.
Can
Yeah,
he jump
so-
them?
only a couple seconds in it, but Kanga doing what he needed to do and making the most of that overcut to actually stay ahead of Klaas van Snelheid, who now is going to have to do this all on track.
Yeah, absolutely. I think another lap, though, and that position would have gone, but Adrian Simon now makes his final stop as well.
As Klaas is already making moves on Lewis Ellington up the inside of the Parabolica, and nearly split of contact there.
Yeah, he went a little bit deep there, but Ellington wasn't able to take advantage.
More cheese, Gromit. Just a quick little reminder for anyone who has a Netflix account, you can access some of the best Wallace and Gromit content the world has to offer on a British Netflix account.
Why? You're like an ambassador for Wallace and Gromit on Netflix?
Maybe I am.
Are you getting a cut of the profits?
Nah.
Well, then you probably, ask for one.
They've got Wallace and Gromit and the Wrong Trousers. They've got Wallace and Gromit and a Grand Day Out. Wallace and Gromit and a Close Shave. If any of you watch Wallace and Gromit and the Curse of the Were-Rabbit, I will probably slap you into next year. Funny because there's a penguin that wears like a glove on his head. Rob's got something spicy for us in the pit lane. Rob, make words out.
I just thought I'd give us a little bit of a race rundown powered by Wallace and Gromit. We have Enrique Ruiz leading the race ahead of Nathaniel Powell, with Timo Kinnaman in third.
Oh, I thought you were gonna. Thanks very much, Rob. And thanks for the respect to the Wallace and Gromit. Oh, that's Powers! Powers in the gravel! What a silly goose! Oh, that's put Kinnaman into... What? How's... Ooh, that's... So Kinnaman is now... Oh, here we go. Yeah,
he did what Klaas did! He's done what Klaas bloody did!
So both Franklin drivers throwing away their chances at the win. Or Franklin, Downton, I don't know, you're both the same. You're both very dominant British outfits in the sport who think they have a tight entitlement to being at the front.
For fuck's sake.
I'm kidding.
Our drivers have been absolutely bloody hopeless in these last two races. Fire the pair of them.
Should I try it?
No.
Well, I'm better than Powers. I'm just saying that for the two races they were together in 2015, Kinnaman beat Powers.
Yeah, two races is a really, really small data set.
Maybe.
Powers has won more world titles than Kinnaman has races.
Yeah, because he had a big boy car under him.
Yeah, Kinnaman's got a big boy car under him this year and has done nothing with it.
Wow, no one.
Oh no, sorry. He took a podium last time out, and admittedly should have won in Indianapolis, but didn't.
Yeah, Indy was a rough race for Kinnaman. He did actually turn up and do the job. Did we end up cutting down to Rob in the pit lane? Yeah, we did because it was the race cap. Powered by Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, I was going to point out actually just after that the lap record has gone.
Oh yeah!
It was a 16.2 by Elroy Wagner, and Klaas van Snelheid has just done a few laps ago a 16.0.
Well, Mr. Klaas. It seems your work here is done. Mind you,
I mean, it's not. He's had the pace and he's absolutely ballsed it up.
Really struggling as well to close in on Kanga. He was 2 seconds behind after the pit stops, but he's still only about a second and a half behind.
Yeah, it's despite the fastest lap, it's not really doing much for him, is it?
No.
When are we? Rob, are you with us?
I certainly am.
When are we expecting the top three in for their final stop?
Now.
Good question.
It's morning.
It's just because I'm looking at this and Powers is only 10 seconds ahead of Kangaroo in class, so he's going to lose third.
It was about lap 38, wasn't it, they pitted, so I think it should be any moment now,
Klaas is through past Kangaroo, but he's lost his front wing. Sorry, going to cross you there. Klaas van Snelheid and well, we're going to have to get a replay of what's happened there. But Van Snelheid into the pits for an unscheduled stop.
That's a silly goose manoeuvre.
Oh, yeah. We've got chaos at turn 1 as well. Sorry, that's Chima, and that's the second first of Felix Perez. So
double retirement there for first. That is a rough afternoon for them.
Yeah, isn't just in that Chima parked slightly further up the road is Nikola Milkovic. So that's the third incident of that kind that we've seen today. And the second at that corner.
Yeah, unfortunately, like you said earlier, two drivers wanting to be in the same spot of tarmac, and it's just never going to work. The same corner of the car too. Says Bob Flaffershaw, our fan who just tweeted in. I lied. It was Rob that posted it.
Here we go then. Enrico Ruiz pits from the lead. Rob?
Right, it's a crucial pit stop now. Can the Franklin boys get this as good as they can?
They've got Kinnaman coming in as well.
For both of them, double stacking and Powers in behind the lead. Yes, absolutely. So top three have all pitted. The good pit stop for Ruiz. I think the reference there. What was the time before he came in between them?
11 seconds he had lead.
Powers is having to wait behind the Felix coming in. He's just lost a couple of seconds there, but that could be crucial.
He's going to come up behind Ellington as well, because Ellington's just passed him on straight now. So, yikes! That is a very sudden and unfortunate change of tone for the race there for the Downton boys.
And crucially, behind Kanga, Alar Kanga then into a net third position. Well, nobody's into third position. Never mind.
Yeah, no more pit stops left.
Oh, here we go. So this is on board with Kanga. So Kanga lost it on the outside of one of the Chimas, and Klaas just decided to drive straight into him.
Yeah, that's usually not a good shout, Bradley. Oh, that's just clumsy, to be honest.
Yeah, well, that was Perez's fault. He just drove into him.
Certainly. Oh, that tyre's headed for the crowd. That's why
thankfully it bounced off of the wall then. There's so Klaas after that pit stop then rejoined just in front of Adrian Simon back in 6th place.
Yeah, so that is going to be his finishing position. Powers is probably going to be able to nab 4th from Ellington, but I'm struggling to see him coming after Kanga, who is really applying pressure to Kinnaman, who's stuck behind traffic. Oh, Ellington still has to pit, that's why.
Absolutely. So a race then that looked as though, well, in the early stages, that Downton could potentially take this to Franklin. It's, as Austria did, fallen apart for them. At least in Austria, they managed to salvage 3rd and 4th. Just note, the gap between Kanga and Powers already down 3 seconds.
Yeah, so
is Kanga just lapped? Kanga's just lapped Campos, so I wonder if he was just stuck behind him momentarily. As Ellington rejoins ahead of Klaas van Snelheid.
So Klaas should be able to salvage a place there, because it's only a 7-second gap, and let's face it, that Meteor is not on the same level as Downton. But I've got to say, since introducing the new team principle, it is nice to see Meteor pulling in some decent results and actually turning up and making the most of their weekend.
At least with the driver that's competent. The other one seems to be failing still somewhat.
Speaking of failing somewhat, there's Wagner without a front wing on his car.
Oh yeah, didn't notice that one.
Bit of a dismal weekend there for Elroy, as he's rather overshadowed by Victor Osterberger.
Indeed, Campos is 12th.
Oh boy!
That's Chima's best result.
That'll move them up, Bradley.
No, it won't.
Oh. But it'll certainly keep them safer.
Oh, no, he's pitted, never mind. There's Nathaniel Powers bots in a fast lap. Well, Powers obviously desperate to try and steal this podium back.
He's just taken the lap record, Bradley!
He has.
Yeah. I suppose one thing that we could take away from this Campos performance is that we might be likely to see him in the car again if he does nail that.
For God's sake, I bloody hope not.
Performance down, but
I mean, let's be fair. Okay, he might have done okay in this race, but he's ahead of mainly people who have had several incidents, and well, it's the only race he's qualified for at 3.
Yeah, 3 swings and 2 misses is not a good conversion rate at all. So
no, one more and he'd be out of there if this were
hey,
faithful.
Yeah, 3 strikes and you're a failure. I don't know how they
I mean,
Like,
to
most
be
people.
fair, he was a failure before.
Ooh. Do you guys want to hear a fun stat? It's not a stat so much as an observation. Klaus van Snelheid is not catching up to Ellington.
Rob's just pointed out in our ear that if you hit a home run on the third strike, you're a hero. But I'm not sure Campos is close to hitting a home run.
Campos is not a hero, he's a zero. Don't at me. If you want good drivers, look no further than any driver that's ever driven for me. Oh, hello.
I mean, apart from like Keith Boston, Douglas Bacon,
Douglas
Nicola
Bacon got our first
Christodoulou.
pole position.
Doesn't mean it was any good.
Christodoulou, I was fooled by. He had an affinity for the lower key formulae, but he did not adapt to Formula Virtual particularly well.
Indeed, as Rob has just pointed out in my ear, Campos won a race and is still shit.
He won 2 races.
He didn't.
I'm sure he has.
Nope.
Oh! So it looks like all the gaps are holding pretty steady, really.
Well, I don't know. Gap between Kanga and Powers is 2 seconds now, same as the gap between Kinnaman and Kanga. So I wonder if they're all just closing in a little bit.
They're gonna squash each other. There's Ellington. It's not. It's Lopez. Oh, make his way up into. He's already in the points.
Yeah, he's lapping that Lucas. Let's be fair. No offense to the Lucas, but there's no chance he's going to be anywhere near the top 10.
No, but he is a step staying with Vasquez for a possible 9th position, which would be a very good points haul actually for the Meteor team.
It would. With
Right.
Ellington's 10, if you add Lopez's whole 1,
Or 2 if he gets that position.
1.
Oof. It is worth mentioning that he is half a minute behind his teammate right now.
Only half a minute. Well, that's half a second a lap. It's not atrocious.
That is not correct.
I mean,
Is it? Yeah, it is.
Someone can't math.
Yeah, well, you
Face
got
can't
no,
math.
you got no bum.
I mean, I do.
You have the ironing board project. Your back just goes straight into your legs. How's he sitting? Like a spider.
Okay. Oh, that's Ellington. That is Ellington.
Fuck.
And he's not moving. Lewis Ellington then, from 5th place, looks as though he's out of this race.
What
was that about? Good points?
It might be time for him to kill himself, honestly.
I think Shane might be coming to find you in the paddock after the race, and possibly with a dagger.
Oh, I did a commentator's curse!
Seems like it. Here we go, on board with Ellington then. And yep, the rears have locked up into that corner. I think that's an engine. Rob, what is that? Have you got any information?
Alright.
From first glances on the little monitor I've got here, it looks like it might have been something like a gearbox failure, or as you say, an engine, because the actual one the rear has just locked out.
Thank you all.
It's almost like it's a Peugeot F1 engine. The director, you can unmute Rob if he wants to laugh at that. That sounds like a really depressed goat.
It did rather. Can I just point out though, Lilly, you were kind of correct. Lopez did temporarily move up to 9th, although he's now 8th, because he is ahead of Vasquez as well.
Woo!
So you were right and wrong all in one.
I was right all the way.
Well, you weren't.
Except for the bit you were wrong.
I said that
Which was
Meteor would
most
get
of it.
equal points if Lopez got past Vasquez, and 8th place is for Meteor still pretty good points.
Well, it's only 4 though. I'm not sure it's classed as a good haul.
Compared to their usual none. I think it's not bad. Uh-oh. We just had word in our ear that Rob has found the unmute button on his headset, so he may now be wreaking havoc as
it's all right. He might have found it, but it was disabled.
Me
So
too.
it doesn't do anything.
That's what you think. Luckily, I'm going to use it as a force for good. I've been talking to the Downton boys. They're very hopeful that Powers might be able to mount an attack on Kanga. Only a second separates them now on track.
What's he going to do? Throw axes at him?
Maybe. You don't know. I'm very excited personally to see Powers start mounting Kanga at the end there, so that could be quite something to watch in the dying moments of the race.
I'll tell you what though, if he's going to do it...
It'd be a novel overtaking device, but I do think that would be outside the sporting regulations.
Sod the sporting regulations, take it.
It also kind of sounds like Powers is just going to sod Kanga as well.
Yeah, Kanga really slow there around the hairpin, and that's put Powers sort of almost right nearly a second on him.
He's inviting Powers in with his thick, juicy ass.
I mean, the back end of the Mathashaw is rather nice.
Juicy, Bradley. Say the word juicy.
As long as you don't say moist again, we'll be okay.
What's moist?
Oh!
From the sounds of things, Lilly is moist.
It happens.
To be fair, that's 65 laps of scintillating form of virtual action for you, brought to you by Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, the crime-fighting duo that just does whatever they want. Where one of the episodes revolves around the moon being made of cheese and not being able to go to the shops to buy more cheese on a bank holiday.
I really feel we should be being paid by Wallace and Gromit to promote them so much.
Did you know?
In a minute, I'm going to promote the boxing match that's on after us.
Here's a fun fact about Wallace and Gromit. It was actually originally, the guy who animated it, it was his university project.
Wonderful. In a minute, I'm going to promote sleep.
Is the boxing match? Oh boy. Boxing brought to you by Chris Brown.
Oh dear.
Domestic violence is always funny.
Except when it isn't, which is 100% of the time.
What are you going to do? Beat me?
Yes, but that won't be domestic violence.
Oh no, Bradley, how dare you? Yeah, so Rob, those Downton boys clearly must have been onto something there, because Powers is definitely within striking range now.
Yeah, I think that, well, you know, I don't think they've been employed if they didn't know what they were talking about, and I certainly would believe them when they say that they think that they're confident still, but only 2 laps left in the race. I think Kanga might just about be able to hold on to this.
I think Ruiz has got it. Oh, Ruiz is losing time.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. That was 15 seconds.
Ruiz is slow. Mentally.
Well, what's happened here then? Because he's all on his own. As there's a yellow flag in the middle sector, and now Kinnaman's losing a shed load of time. And that's why then. So there is a meteor parked beside the road.
Position to Powers.
Oh, it's true. Yeah, Powers is through in third.
I feel bad for the meteor.
I take back everything I said about overtaking under yellow flags with an obstruction.
Oh, is that one not okay?
That one was definitely not okay.
I wonder why that one was not okay. Gee, only there was some way we could tell.
So, well, that will explain Ruiz's loss of time. Then he slowed for the yellow flags.
I feel like Shane isn't going to be my friend now.
No, well, you told him, you know, about 6 laps ago he was on for a great haul of points, and now both of his cars have retired.
And now he's getting them, yeah. I didn't do this, Shane. I'm better than this.
Klaas has got Adrian Simon right behind him.
Come on, Simon. Shag his bag.
No, he's through. Simon's through into 5th. Oh. Bollocks.
Oh, no.
That's not a good sign, I don't think. What do you think? Rob, is that a bad sign?
I think it's unlikely he'll reach the finish from that point.
Yikes.
Unless he gets out, takes the transponder with him and runs the final lap.
Nigel Mansell would do that.
This race has gone worse than Austria for us, and Austria was shit.
But hey, Bayer and Vasquez with some pretty spicy points paying positions in 6th and 7th respectively.
Oh, brilliant at our expense. Yeah, wonderful.
A little bit of sarcasm detected there, Brad.
Really?
Oh, okay. Well, can I take the final lap, or do you want to do it?
You crack on.
So Enrique Ruiz then, having led from the front for most of the race, still can't resist putting a lap past Vasquez, I think that is, but he rounds the final corner. He's been supreme today, and he wins the German V-Prix in pretty dominant fashion. And it looks like Kinnaman is set to follow him home in second place. We'll be waiting for a few seconds, as there he is now, the Finn. Not quite as impressive as his teammate today, but he still did the job. With Powers somehow managing to rescue a podium after that dramatic off into the gravel. Kanga takes 4th place, only about a second behind. And Simon, a long wait now, about half a minute, because he could not get the hang of it early on in the race. But wow, that was...
Shit.
It wasn't exciting all the way through, but it did certainly have its moments. Does anyone have anything they'd like to add?
It was shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got something to add.
Oh.
It was shit.
Okay, alright. So yeah, this is the man of the day, but let's do a driver of the day thing. For me, my driver of the day has to be Ellington. Unfortunately, he did obviously have to retire, but he drove a cracking race. What do you boys think?
I would choose Kanga, but I feel that's slightly biased, so I'd probably choose Thierry Zylander. I think a very understated driver with 5 minutes in P9 gets some more points in the qualifying. It's a very good effort.
Yeah, I was going to go Zylander as well.
But anyway, thank you for joining us for this V-Prix, and we'll see you next time, wherever we go, because I didn't memorize it.
So then, the official classification shows that Enrique Ruiz takes the win, his 4th of the season. He is the first man to hit 4 this year in 2019. Timo Kinnaman follows him home in 2nd. It's the 2nd consecutive Franklin 1-2. Nathaniel Powers just manages to salvage the final step on the podium then for Downton. Meanwhile, further down, Klaas van Snelheid with that late engine failure. Likewise, both Meteors with their late problems failing to score in the Drivers' Championship then. Well, that means Enrique Ruiz has gone from 3rd to the lead. He has a 5-point gap back to Nathaniel Powers, while former championship leader Klaas van Snelheid slips to 3rd. He is now 12 points behind the leading Brazilian. In the midfield, James Vasquez and Thierry Zylander have both made gains. Vasquez up a whopping 6 places, while further back, Diego Campos with his 12th place has got him onto the 2nd page of the results. In the Constructors' Championship then, we haven't had any change in positions, but the gap between Downton and Franklin at the top has dramatically reduced. It's now just 46 and barely over a 1 race advantage. But that's all from our race here today in Germany. So from me, Lily and Robert, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time for round 12 from Sakir, Bahrain.